Hello, today I'm going to tell you about some of the seeds that you can sow in January. I'm Liz Zorab and this is Byther Farm. Where you live in the country is going to make a huge difference to what you can sow right now, and whether you have some heated space like a heated greenhouse will also make a difference. But you can sow some things to go in your cold greenhouse or into a cold frame, and others you can sow using a heated propagator to give them the warmth they need to get going. So if you have a cold greenhouse or a cold frame, and cold frames are really easy to make, you can do it just using 4 pieces of wood and a piece of either plastic or a sheet of glass over the top of it, and that would be enough to allow some seedlings to grow on until spring. You can sow broad beans, something like the Sutton, sow them into pots and then pop them into your cool greenhouse or into your cold frame to grow on, and that should give you a really nice early crop of broad beans. They are big, fat, healthy looking pods, and these are pretty healthy looking beans. These are a good size. You can start off aubergines. They will need some heat in a heated propagator to get going, but you can start those off now, and they like a really nice long growing season. I grew aubergines here in the polytunnel for the first time this year, and they were just wonderful. I'm not a huge fan of the very big aubergines, and I grew ones that were just little fingers, and I think that was the variety that they were called. There are also some carrot seeds that you can sow now. Something like Amsterdam forcing means that you can get your carrots off to a very early start in the year. If you use a heated propagator, you can start off onion seeds and shallot seeds. I've never grown onions or shallots from seeds. I always use sets. And this variety is called Sensu Yellow. So it's a yellow skinned variety. I've grown them before. I didn't find them hugely strong in flavour, but actually I really rather liked them. So in they go. And as with all onions, shallots and garlic, it's the root end down. The easy way to tell that is that the pointy end goes up. But this year I am going to be growing some shallots, some of the long, thin, pink-skinned shallots from seed, which I will sow towards the end of January. There are also some brassicas that you can start off now. So something like cauliflower all the year round, which we sowed in October and November. So a variety like all the year round. So you can sow this now, and in 2 to 3 weeks you should get your first seed leaves come up. They can still be sown in January, and that should give you a summer crop of cauliflower, and also cabbages, something like greyhound, which will give you a cabbage during the summer. So all these outer leaves will go to the birds, and we will have the cabbage from the centre. So that's ours. Yummy yum. You can also sow leeks during January. Just make sure when you choose your variety that it's one that can be sown early in the year. I don't sow them very thinly, but I don't sow them in clumps either. So it's a nice row of leek seeds. And I leave them to grow. And here, I'm very pleased to say, are the leeks. Now I'm not growing grass here. These are leeks. These are lovely little baby leeks, and they're doing really well. They're about 5-6 inches high now. There are several salad crops that you can grow now. So spring onions. You can continue to grow peas just for the shoots. Things like kale. This is a red Russian kale. These leaves are lovely in a salad. Some beet leaves. Things like mustard leaves will grow now. And also you can carry on sowing things like corn salad, which is also called lamb's lettuce. And don't forget those seedlings that have grown from the seeds that you planted in the autumn. They can be planted out into the ground as long as it's not too soggy and waterlogged, and it's also that the ground isn't frozen. So things like young cabbages, these are the cabbages that I sowed in the middle of September. They're absolutely desperate to get into the ground now. I'll get them in, I'll put some netting over them, not to prevent the butterflies, but that netting will just give them a little bit of protection during the cooler months that we have ahead of us. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up or leave a comment, and if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel and keep on harvesting and picking the things that are growing for you right now. So we have an abundance of lettuce, so I'm eating plenty of salads. I'm topping them with the pea shoots that have been growing, and I keep on popping in a few more peas every couple of weeks to keep a continuous supply. So there you go, a few seeds that you can start sowing in January if you want to. Now here at Byther Farm, I'm just popping in a few salad leaves and the peas just to keep us ticking over, and then towards the end of January, to end of February, and then in March I'll start sowing in earnest.